Hello, good morning. Welcome to um, the maiden edition of the program Physics for National Development. My name is Professor Ajengbe Ayokunle John. I'm a professor of physics at Mewar International University of Nigeria. Mewar International University is located at kilometer 21, Abuja Kefi Expressway. It's an Indian university, the first of its kind in Africa. We have a team of very experienced, dedicated, research-driven, and result-oriented faculty in the physics department. I'm privileged to be one of them. I've been a crusader on the course of physics in Nigeria upon graduation from Ahmadu Bello University for my first degree. I have been like an evangelist for physics. This has necessitated that I try to expound what physics is all about, what physicists are doing, and the impact of their work on the society. The education aspect of physics, the research aspect of physics, the industrial aspect of physics, the general application of physics in engineering, medicine, and other science and allied sciences. In 2008, I published a work. It's actually on Amazon. It's Physics for National Development. My intention was to let the public know what physics is all about. That it's not just a subject you need to pass to be able to read engineering, medicine, and other sciences. That it's actually a very robust field of knowledge on its own. Being that mostly physicists have quite few, few. It's a known fact. Any university you go to, one of the departments that will have the lowest, entry, and even in terms of retainership, is physics. Because physics, unlike other science and allied sciences, it has to do with some little bit of abstraction, and then from abstraction to reality. So it takes someone with a lot of intellectual wits to be able to, transpose from one realm of reasoning to another. Unlike, some other fields that you do a box study, you just anything you want to study, you just do a macroscopic study of it. But in physics, you always look at it at the elemental level, and then you take it higher to the macroscopic level, and then you can also do some other form of generalization of those concepts. So in physics, there's no aspect of knowledge, no body of knowledge that does not have a robust representation in physics. Now, so the book I'll review, and then this program will be on Ajengbe online radio and TV channel on YouTube, and then on other social media platforms. Our intention actually is to make this program a national TV program because of the trend of participation of students in physics. One, the pass rate in physics is quite alarming, it's very low. That means that the kind of engineers and physicists you produce, medical doctors, will not really be as good as the ones we used to have. So physics is more like an endangered, field of study. It's an endangered field of study as far as this century is concerned, and it's a global trend. I was reading an article by Institute of Physics UK, and it was alarming that they said a lot of youths want to run away from sciences, especially physics. They even prefer to do other kind of calculation courses, chemistry, mathematics, but they detest physics to a very, very large extent. And when you come down to Nigeria, you see it. That trend is there. It's always there. It's quite a handful of people, that really want to do physics. And physics has about 501, over 500, area of specialization. Okay, now from physics you can read engineering at your masters, you can do medicine, you can do any course of study that is science related with your degree in physics. So most times the differentiation is only at the bachelor's level. When you get to the PG level, you see physics coming in. You see agri science doing soil physics, and all that. All of those things, medical physics, radiation physics, what have you. You get it? There are areas of specialization in physics, and we are going to actually cover a lot of them. So we are seeking for support, from World Bank, ECOWAS, AU, government bodies, physics-related bodies, NAEC, NNRA, WAEC, general public philanthropists who just feel like this endangered field of study must not go into extinction, because if this trend continues, a time will come when you have this recycling of the brown, on, and then when there are no fresh people to come in, you see them being overworked, and then when they pass on, you now have very few people who actually ended up studying physics, and that is not supposed to be. Every success must have a successor. So we are trying to do this program so that we can have successor in physics. Physics deserve to have, a good representation. Physics deserve to have the best representation. Physics deserve to have, you know, the best representation any man or woman can think of. So physics is actually a course that I'm very proud of. It's a course that I'm really, really passionate about. It's a course that I'm really, really, you know, eager, to pass the knowledge across. My students all over the years, they can say that if complex concepts, is brought to bear in a very easy format, and because of very my love and robust knowledge in mathematics, I'm able to, marry physics concept and mathematics. They are quite different actually. Okay, so the fact that we use mathematics to communicate. Yeah, so mathematics is like a tool of communication in physics. So, but physics is a concept on its own. It's an ideology. It's a line of thought. It's a research-driven, field. Like what we are doing in Mewar now. In Mewar, we have about 35 research topics that are of global standard, which we are working on. Okay, very soon you begin to see the results everywhere. It's going to affect the energy sector, it's going to affect the power sector, it's going to affect, agricultural sector, it's going to affect a lot of sectors of Nigeria. It's going to affect, pollution, it's going to affect so many things. You understand? We're going to do a lot of physics related work. We have work on instrumentation, we have works on nuclear physics, what have you, radiation, health, or medical physics, and what have you. So today I will just review, like I said, the book. Now, at the point when I wrote this, I just had a bachelor's, I had a bachelor's knowledge of physics. But right now, this, work, I'm trying to work on a second edition, so that this can actually be like a course in the 100 level for all physics students, and then maybe all sciences will be one of the general courses for sciences, so that they could appreciate what they can get from. So in this book, the first chapter is physics and the society. Then chapter 2 is physics, the fourth dimension concept. Chapter 3 is qualities of a physicist. A specialist in physics is called a physicist, not physician. Physician is a medical doctor, a general medical doctor, the health. Okay. Then chapter 4 is physics as an instrument for national development. Physics as an instrument for national development. So in chapter 1, we're trying to look at Nigeria as a case study, and to see how as the body of knowledge or discipline called physics affected the nation Nigeria, and then we looked at, the historical evolution of physics, how physics moved from one level to another, which in fact so many physicists today may not even know. Okay, we moved from classical, from Newtonian, classical, to wave physics and what have you. Okay, and all that. Then the impact of physics on the society. We looked at the Green Revolution. How does physics affect agriculture? Okay, how do you make the machineries, the machines? Sorry, the soil test and what have you. Okay, then ICT and physics. Okay, ICT and physics, are like twin brothers. Then you have space adventure and aerodynamics. Okay, then we have meteorology and weather forecasting. You have oil exploration. You have general geophysical survey like geotechnics, groundwater, mineralogy, and what have you. Then security and physics. How has physics helped in shaping security, like the security gadgets, the guns, bomb, what have they are there. They are all adventures in physics. Then physics as it applies in photography, hologrammy, and the GSM system. Okay. Then in chapter 2, we looked at physics as a four-dimension concept. We looked at what are the traits to look out for, in an individual that will do well in physics. So, we looked at the temperaments, looked at the choleric, phlegmatic, sanguine, and the melancholic. Okay, the book is well detailed on that. Then we look at chapter 4, qualities of a physicist. What are the qualities an individual should possess that will make them do very well in physics? The first one we have is insightful thought. You must be able to think deeply and critically. Okay? Then 2, you must have good mathematical aptitude. You must be able to work with mathematics equations. You must be very good with your math, to do very, very well in physics. Then you must pay attention to details. Whatever is going to go to the microscopic level has to do with details. That you're going to look at the nitty gritty. For physics is actually the nitty gritty of life, the nitty gritty of academics, the nitty gritty of science. So, and then D, you have the flexible mind. Your mind must be very flexible. Ability to transpose a concept and relate it to another in a very short while. Then you must have what we call the analytical mind, analytical attitude. You must be able to probe, okay, to see. Then ability to be very observant is also there, to look at your environment, what is actually happening, okay, and what is the impact thereof. Then we look at various branches of specialization in physics. We looked at mathematical and computational physics. We looked at physics, electronics, and instrumentation. Look at telecommunication physics, solid state and material science. Look at geophysics and geodesy, astronomy, astrophysics. Look at nuclear physics and engineering. Look at energy study and energy physics. Look at radiation biophysics, medical physics, cosmology and high energy physics, environmental physics, theoretical and mathematical physics, the reactor atomic physics, the industrial physics and engineering physics. That's how physics is applied in engineering. In fact, if you take physics out of engineering, you have made engineering more of craftsmanship. Yes, in fact, it's even less than a craftsmanship, because physics is the life of engineering. Yes, in any field of engineering, when you take physics away, it is more of story, or just an individual stumbling into what he cannot probably explain. So, physics is the backbone. Like I said, physics is the nitty gritty of science and allied sciences. Okay, so the nitty gritty. That is when you go into details, you find out that actually every field of study, has their bearing from physics. Okay, then we have meteorology and atmospheric physics. Then look at recent challenges, things that could, boost the mind of individuals who want to take a specialty in physics. Look at superconductivity, age dating, okay, of the Earth, energy crisis, telecommuting, earthquake prediction, global gravity network of the Earth. Okay, I'm privileged to know, an authority in this one. In fact, that's Professor Isaac Babatunde Osazuwa. He's a world-renowned, geophysicist, and his core area is gravity network. He has done gravity network in Nigeria, the best all over the world. In fact, he's been nominated now for a Nobel Prize in Physics, which is something of that is very important and noteworthy. A Nigerian who has the best gravity network, system in the whole world. Then we have quantum computing and all of that. Then in chapter 4, we look at how can physics be used as an instrument for national development. Look at it like the energy crisis, how physics will come into it. Okay, we are like Nigeria, we have already a wide, energy deficit, okay, which is over 100,000 megawatts. That's why you have generators everywhere, solar, whatever, everything just affecting, productivity. But with physics, you can get other diversification. Like one of our projects in Mewar, hydrogen fuel fired power plant. They use hydrogen to fire the power plant so that you don't have issue of CO2 emission and all that. And then it is even 2 times more efficient than the hydro, and it can be done in energy clusters so that you don't have to concentrate all the pressure on the national grid. Then we look at human resource development and physics. We said that Nigeria has a very good opportunity because in Africa we have about 20% of the continent. Let's say between 20 to 30. Okay, and we have a very young population. Our population, is about 40% of the youngest in Africa and even in the world. So when you educate your people in core areas like physics, it means you're going to earn, a lot of things from there. Like I have a lot of friends who are all over the world, some in Ethiopia, US, Canada, UK, you understand, who studied physics and are there lecturing, researching, and making breakthroughs. Are you getting making Nigeria proud? Some are even nominated for one form of prize or the other. That is to tell you that physics is very key in gaining global relevance. Then we have political stability, how physics has helped, people to develop bombs, what have you. It's just to keep peace so that people don't just badge on you at will. Then economic liberation, we must begin to think intuitively. Okay, why can't we make our own computers, our own phones, our own just made in Nigeria? Why must you import everything? You have gone to school, you have engineers, and you are bringing expatriates to come and work for you. Then why did you put them in the school in the first place? Then physics affects human, you know, us as an individual, because the entirety of every human being is a physics component. You have your spinal cord that looks like a spring, so you have simple harmonic motion, okay, like as I'm speaking, a lot of vibration taking place. So because as a result, and waves are generated, so it means every individual is an embodiment of physics. We can even say that physics is the molecular level of life. I can say that the cell is not the unit of life. Physics is the unit of life. Okay? Then, why students fail physics? Look at it maybe at the examination level, at standardized exams like Ayokunle. You just cram. Schools have always recommended get a degree holder in physics to teach. Physics, not, I'm sorry to say, not just even engineering. Because everything you do in physics, by the time you get to 200 level to 400 level, they break it in bits. You have a deeper knowledge of it. So it's not like you're cramming. Some people just go pick textbooks, copy the example and give to the students, and give them all the exercises to go and struggle with. He himself doesn't even understand it. So that's why he's just teaching anything. You get it? But you crammed, you don't understand the concept. You don't need to cram. Just know physics, apply the concept anywhere, it will work for you. Then you leap before thinking. When you have a question, look at it critically. What are they asking me to do? What do I need to get there? Okay? Then you narrow your mind. No, physics, you must open your mind a lot. Do you get it? Then fear, the phobia for physics. Physics is difficult. If it is difficult, why do you have physicists? Why do you have people like us? It's not really a difficult subject. It's just that, or a difficult course. It's just that you've not met someone who understands it to give you the right clip. There is nothing difficult that you cannot do. Okay? Then you don't practice. When you have questions, go and practice questions. Practice over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and master every question and the solution. Then you don't share. I understand that the more you teach, the more you learn. So when you teach, you learn. Okay? So that is actually what it is. You can reach me actually on any of my phone numbers for partnership, sponsorship. My first number is +234 7030118101. The second one is +234 0 8 +234 8108617258. Or you can reach me on my email address, contact as displayed on the screen, for further details. We actually want this to be a national and a global project, but I will go beyond Nigeria. Okay, in my next edition I will be explaining other aspects of the project that we will need the input of even the government and individuals.